Well, a candidate in Zambia's presidential by-elections, Hakainde Hichilema of the opposition United Party for National Development, cast his vote in the capital, Lusaka. The 52-year-old economist has previously come in third in the last 3 elections. He said his supporters are being attacked in various parts of the country. Analysts say infighting within the ruling coalition offers him perhaps the best chance of a win this time round.
May God bless Zambia.
Well, Zambia's election is just one of a string due across Africa this year. Nigeria is also preparing to vote, and polls are set to happen in Egypt, Sudan, Chad, Ethiopia, Burundi, Cote d'Ivoire, and possibly the Central African Republic. So for more analysis on this, we're joined by Koffi Kouakou, an Africa Analyst at Wits School of Governance in South Africa. Mr. Kouakou, thanks for joining us. So a number of African countries are due to hold elections this year. What's the current state of African politics with regards to how elections are being carried out?
Well, what we can say right now is that the current situation really is very encouraging. There have been what I call a political maturity across the board. Most elections in Africa for the past 10 to 15 years have really been done very fairly well. And then the result, although some of them have been contested, we could see that there's some kind of stability across the board. So that political maturity is also translated into a form of stable democracy, hence spurring what we're now calling Africa Rising economic growth right across the continent.
So what challenges then lie ahead in terms of achieving good governance across the continent?
Well, there are many of them. The first one is really the nature of governance itself. First is to run the idea that elections are a tool or are tools to really entrench democracy, and that the democracy dividend can lead Africans to really take care of themselves, manage their resources well, govern themselves, deal with their problems, anticipate governance issues like the Ebola that we've seen, the terrorism issue we've seen in Nigeria, and then also in Somalia. And these are the major challenges you have. So it's a governance issue, but also you want to see the role of the civil society is not just the state that needs to govern. Civil society has to be involved in that governance, both on the election and then the dividend of these elections that translate into much more stable democracies.
Another type of popular protest in previous years likely to reoccur in countries whose leaders don't adhere to constitutional term limits.
Yes, there will. In fact, there have been a lot of concerns, especially in places like the Democratic Republic of Congo, and many of you have heard that today, for example, or since yesterday, there have been riots with some people dead because there's a sense that the president wants to tamper with the constitution to extend his term limit. And there have also been talks and then also a lot of riots in Togo in West Africa, where the president, Faure Gnassingbé, is also maintaining the constitution that a lot of civil society and the opposition want to change because they want an end to the term limit. So there are both these two trends are showing that some presidents who've managed, for example, to organize that there are no terms limit want to continue with it, and then others want to change the term limit because they want to remain in power. So those two trends will create the kind of riot we've seen, and we can expect to see some of that. But right across the continent, I don't think we're going to see an overall riot that will be really destabilize the continent. So we're fairly certain that there will be some riots, but they're not going to be major to destabilize the continent.
Interesting insights there, Mr. Koffi Kouakou, live for us from Johannesburg. Thanks for joining us.